Established in 1900, surviving 2 world wars and 1 cereal cafe, 3 generations have passed on the ownership.
Tone, what's their breakfast?
Born upstairs, inside these very walls. Real cockneys, a word often used but not often understood. Humour, charm, and of course, honesty. The food, well, it speaks for itself. Made with love and designed to fill. Join us in Ep.5 as we go down the Caff.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Who's just
Yes,
walked in?
Kev.
Oh,
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Lovely.
Lovely to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you, Kev.
How about a little
Been away.
menu, Kev?
You don't need a menu, it's roast potato,
No,
Kev.
roast potato.
Have you been cooking them, Nev? Are they roasting?
Well, I hope
Kev,
you have,
they are-
because you texted him this
I
morning,
just-
so
I
I hope you
just
ain't
had a
forgot.
little. I've just put the temperature down because they're just perfect. Right, we've got our good friend Kevin with us here today. It's going to be good.
Kevin, we know you are. We love you lots. You've been coming in for years. Tell these lovely people a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Kevin Rowland. I'm best known, or only known really, for, you know, the things I've done with Dexys Midnight Runners, and for the last 10 years, Dexys. And it's lovely to be here.
We love
This is
having
my
you, Kev.
favourite place.
Again, thank you, Kev.
Thanks
Come
for
on.
coming in, Kev. We
Come
appreciate
on,
it.
stop it.
And always
I love
looking
it.
so
Yeah,
fabulous too.
always looking fabulous. Always looking fabulous. I always say, Kev, you remind me like my dad was always classic, like,
He
but
was.
just natural. You've either got it
Or you ain't.
or you
He's
like,
got
I
it.
ain't got it. I like, but
I
you,
put a lot of effort into it.
yeah, but he would as well. He wouldn't, because he had, like, Mum would have all his clothes lined up, but,
Yeah.
and he'd just pick something out and he'd put it together. But
Yeah.
it's just natural.
Anyway,
You've
stop
got-
talking about- we're
that.
talking
That's about all right.
We're talking about
food and
Kev. Yeah,
Kevin.
you want to talk about some food
Right.
first of
Yeah.
all. Now, you love your food, Kev.
I do.
Have you always been a big, like, what was your earliest memories of food growing up? You're a big Irishman, so a big Irish background.
Yeah.
So what was your
Both
memories of
parents.
food?
I think one of my first memories is eating meat for the first time, you know, because I don't know what my mum gave me before that, but, you know, nothing really too solid. I remember give us some beef or something. And my brother, my older brother, who was 6 years older, Pete, he said, that's a cow you're eating. I said, no, that'd be ridiculous. I said, Mum, it's not a cow, is it? And she went, yeah, it is actually.
Our mum would have lied, wouldn't she? For
Yeah,
me?
she would have lied.
Yeah.
Right, that would have been
Yeah.
better.
Well, Anna went vegetarian for a little
Quite
while.
a few years.
Yeah, and Mum
Right.
used to try and hide bits of chicken in her. And she goes, only chicken.
Yeah.
Try and hide bits
Well,
of
if she
chicken.
chopped it up and put it under the pasta, it didn't count as meat.
Now, you are a vegetarian now, Kev. You've been a veggie for
Well,
quite
I've
a
been
while.
veggie for a long time, but the last few years I occasionally have a bit of fish, that's all.
And that's it, every
Yeah.
now and again.
Every
Kevin,
now
have you
and
ever tried an Irish mixed grill?
An Irish mixed grill.
Raw potatoes, mashed potatoes and chips.
Yeah, yeah. Half and half.
Half and half.
Chips and
Were you a
mashed.
fussy eater, Kev, when you was younger? Or
I think I was. My mum used to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit. Like, I didn't like a lot of the food that we were getting. I like sweet things, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
So
I
you
could
weren't a
see
big,
too.
like, because it's a big, like, I know even my Nicola's Irish, and it's a big thing, the dinner, and it'd be a big dinner usually. You get, like, a big plate of vegetables, potatoes, like you say, a bit of meat,
Yeah.
and would that have been the same with you, Kev?
Yeah, it wasn't ridiculous. Like, there was some. I was from the age of 11. I was in northwest London, and there's a lot of Caffs around there where the Irish are going,
Right.
and you see them with them, you know, giant plates,
Yeah.
pint of milk.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. The
yeah,
Irish
that's-
coming in, they'll often have a pint.
Yeah,
Yeah, and our
ask for a
uncles were
pint.
like that, but my mum and dad weren't so much like. It was a bit smaller than that. It was a
Right.
fair portion. There's plenty of it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, you know, the massive.
Yeah.
We used to call them
And how
paddy dinners.
did-
We can call them paddies because we
Yeah.
are paddies, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev, you
It
grew
was-
up tough didn't you? Well, like your brother was tough. I know you told me a few stories about your Peter was tough, wasn't he? He was a bit of a boy.
He was the leader of the sort of gang in the area
Yeah,
where we were
in
living.
Wolves.
In Wolves, yeah, in
'Cause
Wolverhampton.
That's where you had your early childhood.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was born in Wolverhampton. Then when I was 1 year old, went back to Ireland for 3 years.
Right.
Dad stayed here working. Mum and the kids went back to Ireland for 3 years. Then Dad come back up and got us. He would come and visit us, but then he got us over when I was 4. And when we first got there to this street in Wolverhampton, it was really, we were in a farm in Ireland, my dad's parents, and we come to Wolverhampton, it was these kind of dark streets and everything, you know, and the local kids started terrorising us, first of all. They were coming round when Mum and Dad were out shopping or something. They were trying to get in the windows and it was murder.
Really?
But then Pete sort of took over and he became the leader of them, you know.
Oh, really?
He became the leader of the gang.
So you were all right then? You were looked after?
Oh, definitely.
He taught us some
Pete and
Wolverhampton,
John.
didn't he?
And Johnny as well, yeah.
Johnny
could have a go, couldn't he?
Johnny was a boy.
Really?
Yeah, we'd I mean, I don't know if this is interesting or not. You can edit it out if it's not. But we'd go out, you know, out on a night, on a summer's night or whatever, and there was all old buildings, derelict buildings down the road. Johnny would run in there and get a Huckleberry Finn outfit, the hat, the jeans, no shoes and socks, get a pipe, and he'd go, call me Huck. He's about 12 at the time, you know.
Would he?
Yeah, he was wild, Johnny.
That's what's lovely. You've been coming in for years, but then we got to know your lovely brother Johnny and your lovely, lovely dad who passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like you, always looked immaculate.
He did.
And like, what a gentleman. That's so lovely, like to get to know your family as well.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it's nice. It is lovely. We used to look
lovely.
forward to him coming over, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
We'd look forward. Young Irene used to get really excited when he'd come because he was such a lovely, lovely man.
Like, yeah, just a nice... he was,
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, the fact that you brought you to come in here, you brought your dad in here, that's a...
Oh,
it's nice,
I love
isn't it?
this place.
No,
I wanted
but
to share it with
nice.
him. This is the best place going.
I
This place is
remember
something else.
your brother Johnny would come in here and he's very knowledgeable on his music.
He is.
And he'd sit here. We had a guy, Jukebox Jimmy, who sadly passed away.
Yeah.
And we had Eric Hall, who sadly passed away.
Yeah,
and
they've all
you'd
gone.
It ain't looking good, Kev. Fucking hell. They come in freeze, didn't they?
On the next.
No, but they'd have a competition. Like they'd all give each other a quiz competition
what
on
was the
like
B-side of
70s.
this
Yeah,
record?
yeah. They
Yeah.
would.
1958 or whatever.
And John was good
John was good, very good.
because Jimmy was like.
He'd know everything.
And John was very good. I know, and they both do Eric, both of them. But and Eric was good as well.
He was good.
No,
Eric would fib a lot of things and just put bubbler in it and get away with it.
Bluff it.
Yeah, bluff it. Yeah, he was a fantastic bluffer, Eric. You travelled all over the world with Dexys, Midnight Runners. How did you get on like all over the world with different types of food? Are there some places you hated, some places you loved the food, or?
It's right. Sometimes it took a while to get used to it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd never had like. I mean, this sounds ridiculous, but I'd never had salad dressing, for example, until I was in Dexys. I'd never been on a plane or anything. I'd never been abroad.
Course.
Never been abroad. So you know, going to places where they've got salad dressing and. You know, I knew salad cream.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's the best though, salad cream, isn't it?
Yeah, I never had it, and I was like, oh, I don't want this. Give me plain and all that.
Yeah.
You know, it took a while to get used to all these things, which I like now.
Is there any sort of country that you think, oh yeah, I like their food there? Like I know you love Thailand now, and the food in Thailand, people tell me is amazing.
Yeah, no, I do. That's in more recent years. But at the time, two things I really loved.
Yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
pizzas. Because then you couldn't get decent pizza over here.
Yeah.
You just couldn't get it. It was, there was what I suppose the best would be Pizza Express.
Pizza Express, yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah,
there was
wasn't
nothing.
a thing, was it?
There
Wasn't
was
a thing,
nothing.
yeah.
It was bird's eye pizzas.
Yeah,
That's what we
course.
knew as pizzas.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
were just went over there, had the slice of pizza.
Pizzas, yeah.
It's ridiculous, you know. I just thought it was amazing. And so I couldn't believe it. So the first and last thing I'd ever do when as soon as I got to New York, pizza.
Yeah.
Just before I'm going home, pizza.
Just
and
yeah,
loads
but-
in between.
Yeah.
Italy. I think I've said this to you. I went to Italy. We did some shows out there, 82, and I just couldn't believe, you know, the food. We stopped in a country place, you know, and there was a load of us and the crew and everything. We stopped in this place and they prepared this meal. And first of all, I was like, you know, Italian food. I don't know. I'm not that interested. Would have had chips or something. And then we ate the food, and I just couldn't believe how good it tasted.
Yeah.
And I came back, and I just thought, this is brilliant. So I started going to Italian restaurants to eat. It didn't taste the same.
No.
Yeah, no.
Quite
And I
often in
couldn't
Italy.
understand why.
Yeah, it's like where we're from,
the
little
produce
villages,
out there.
and when you go somewhere to eat, it's kind of what's local, what's in season, and they only have like a few dishes, and it is just lovely. The places we go to when we go back to Italy, they're kind of off the beaten track,
It'd
and
be
people would
like,
never
they call it
know.
like a workers' cafe.
Yeah.
Like, so
No.
not a workers' cafe, but like a
Wow.
workers' lunch, they'll call it.
Yeah.
And you
What
go
would
in
it
this
be?
Pay something silly like €10.
It's about €15
Yeah.
now, but you go in and that's like that'll be like, so you'll get like a little antipasto, so like maybe a bit of salami, or some
Yeah.
they might do some little bruschettas or something.
Bruschetta, crostino.
And then you'll get like
Yeah.
a choice of only two or three pastas. They might have ravioli or that, and then you'll get like
Yeah.
a bit of meat, but it's all fresh cooked.
And you don't get bundles of it. You'll get
No.
like a ladle full of, say,
If you want a bit
ravioli.
more, but yes,
Glass of wine with it.
glass of wine with it, a
Yeah.
little coffee, a little grappa after,
Wow.
And then you go back to work.
and it's just
It's
just
so
like
kind of,
Yeah.
they're just way ahead of us with the food.
some of them are like almost like in people's back, like kitchen sort of thing. Like you
Yeah.
just stop off the
Yeah.
road, and it's like someone's put like a gazebo up and they're cooking.
I think
and,
it's
and
just,
it's really
not
good.
even, I think out there, it's like us, like we were discussing earlier, we said the first thing he asked me every Sunday morning is what I'm having for my dinner that night.
Yeah.
And it's just such
Passion.
a part of, I don't know, it's just you've grown up with it. That's
Right.
because my husband, like, he thinks it's a joke almost. That's like all we ever talk about, isn't it?
It's
And,
food.
yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a
done
nice
Mum's
way.
Right
Not
favour
in
the
a-
other day,
we're
didn't
not like,
I?
"Oh," and
No.
it's just enjoying it
I
and
know.
just sitting together. And
It's more sophisticated, let's face it, than the people here. You know what I mean?
I always told you we were
It's not-
sophisticated, didn't I?
You
All
said
that
that.
crap that
She's
George
always
done.
said that to me.
I
Kevin's
mean,
clocked
it's just
it.
so refined.
Kevin's clocked it.
No, the food is just...
I
but
think
it's
a lot of it's to do with the preparation as well, because when, like Paul always laughs, like the kids laugh at me, I'll be turning the sauce and I go, oh, look at that, looks really lovely.
Yeah.
You're almost 9 times out of 10, you're like
You're putting
really
the love into
excited
it.
about
Yeah,
it
you are.
before you eat
Made
it, you
with
know?
love.
You make it with love. Yeah, you
a
do.
few
That makes a
swear
big
words thrown in
difference.
between, but
Yeah.
always with love.
Kev, you've been coming a long time, quite a while now.
I first came here, you might not even know this, in the 80s.
No
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah, about 88, 89.
We were born, weren't we,
Was
Nev?
it born
We weren't
Yeah.
born. It was very different. It was quite different.
It would have been different. I think
Yeah.
Dad was very old school how he had it run as well. It was
Yeah.
like, and he'd been brought up in a certain way. Grew
Yeah.
up in here. It was like
Yeah.
Born upstairs.
like we'd come here before school, after school, and it was. He had his way of doing things. We do it maybe a little bit different now, me and Anna. But yeah,
Yeah.
you probably tell us more about how it was like then than
It's
we
hard to
can.
remember. I think only...
Well,
They-
we wouldn't
they
have
used
had
to
this, that's for sure.
So-
We wouldn't have had the coffee machine. Because you've got to think in the 80s, if you tried to give someone round there a cappuccino or
I
an
know.
espresso, they'll say, what's that? They
Well,
want a
that's
proper
exactly
coffee.
it.
Yeah,
It was
I
more of
think
an
it-
old school kind of English
It,
cafe,
it
wasn't
was
it?
in English. It was all
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, of course
it was
it was.
shepherd's pie and...
Yeah.
And that was our
chip.
customers then,
It was
yeah.
all like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It was a lot less Italian stuff.
Yeah, because I remember some customers asked me when I was a kid working here, they'd say, can I have a spaghetti bolognese? It got any garlic in it? And my mum go, no,
want
tell him
that.
there ain't no
That's
garlic
right.
in it. Because they go, I don't want none of that in
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
So you only, but then obviously with the internet, people move around and people learn, people are a lot
People
more
have opened up
informed and
now, haven't
know, and yeah, they all know everything, didn't they? So
I had to do that with my dad, you know. I mean, I think I brought
he
him
liked
over.
his lamb chops, didn't he,
Well,
Kevin?
he did. And he didn't like anything foreign, to be
Yeah, no,
honest.
that's
Do you know
right.
what I
That's
mean?
how it was, 100%.
I took him to a Chinese restaurant once. He wouldn't eat anything. It was
Yeah.
really good. It was Peking cuisine. It was, you know, I got into that in the 80s. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't eat a thing. And one time I used to, you know, a few years before they passed, me and Johnny would go around on a Saturday morning, and I'd usually bring food, and I'd just either cook it or get it from somewhere, wherever. And I brought some a dal.
Yeah.
A dal. And if I'd have told him it was a dal from India,
He
no
wouldn't have ate
way.
it.
Yeah.
No way. I said, I've got a lentil soup here, Dad, if you fancy it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely.
Yeah,
If you'd have
it's
said
funny,
to him,
isn't
said,
it?
yeah, isn't it? It's just, and Mum was the
before I
same.
tried
Yeah,
him,
Mum was very much
Mum was
the same.
very the
Was
same.
she?
Mum likes
She'll
her
go out
Italian
and eat
food.
everything or whatever,
Yeah.
but then she'll always go, I should have just eaten at home.
Yeah, Kev, one day you got to come round home from us.
Oh, I'd love
That's
to.
what you got to do.
I'd love to.
You got to come
you mean
round over-
Mama's house.
Round the
Mama's
corner,
house.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In
I've
the
been
summer.
there before.
It's been there to
But
watch the
you watched
football.
Watch the football, but in the
That's got a
summer-
great memory.
Yeah.
In the summer,
Shall I
what-
tell you what I remember? Because Paolo was
He
tiny.
was.
He was tiny, and I remember he had a black nail varnish on a thumb or something.
Yeah, probably.
And he was like,
And
Mum,
he couldn't believe it.
That
that
bloke's
mum,
Paolo.
that mum had all these... No, he was only about 5.
He kept going to me.
He kept going, what did he say?
Because I was round, I was
was here.
round Paolo, and he kept going to me, Uncle Nev, that fella's got nail varnish on his hand. I'm going, shut up, Paolo. He's going, Uncle Nev, but he's got... And I go, shut up, Paolo. He's going, but he's got hair. I'm going, shut up, Paolo. But you know, kids, like you
especially
didn't
they're
care
only
anyway,
tiny.
because that's how you are. You're
No,
just
exactly.
you're good, but I didn't want him to, you know what I mean? It's
Well,
like...
he was little when he didn't
He
know.
was
He was
little, he
only
didn't know,
5.
but-
Yeah.
No.
But you like your roast potato,
Oh.
you put in an order to Nev, didn't you, Kevin?
every time
Yeah.
I'm coming, you know,
Yeah.
just a text.
I get a text always about 6:30 in the morning. You are,
Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're early early. You're an early bird.
I'm an early bird.
No, that's it. But we're early. We're all
Probably
early
kicking a
birds.
young lady out of his bed. That's what he's doing at half 6 in the
young-
morning.
too
Chance
young.
to be a
young
fine
ladies,
thing.
yeah.
Chance to be a fine thing.
Nah,
I'm a good Catholic boy.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not,
exactly.
exactly. And
Yeah.
Kev, you've been coming for a good few years now. You helped us through lockdown. You were a big
Yeah.
supporter of us. You come and you
come
take
on.
like 5 tubs of
I
your tomato sauce.
I was
The
missing.
tomato
I was missing
sauce.
like mad not coming
Like,
in
we
here during
couldn't, we couldn't
lockdown.
let you in. We'd be outside.
I
But you
know.
come in and have like a secret cup of tea or whatever, and you kept
Yeah.
getting your
Yeah, we'd
you
slip
get your
him round the
tomato
corner.
sauce and that. But you really supported us. You come and get
Oh,
all
mate,
your...
it was. I missed the food and seeing you guys and
Yeah,
coming in.
but you
I
know
missed
that
it.
very much
Yeah.
works both ways
Yeah.
because just seeing
We
everybody
thrive
and
off of you.
Really?
not even, oh yeah, of course it lifted you because when that happened, we were like, oh my god, like what's going to happen?
was a
100
horrible
years
time,
down the
wasn't it?
toilet. Yeah,
Horrible time.
yeah. Poor man looks famished.
Kev,
Need
you're
some
looking
raw
hungry.
potato.
Do you want some potatoes?
Starving.
Yeah, should we do your usual? Do you want to leave it to
Yes.
us?
Totally.
Should we go
Totally. But
make...
you know what I like
Kev,
anyway.
say- we
Let's
know
go
what
and
you like.
do
Right,
his
get
early
the-
broccoli
You know me.
patate.
Right, I'm going to
Let's
get
go.
the cup.
Gravy on the side.
Always.
Right, Kevin, I've got your favourite
Oh.
here. Some lovely crispy roast potatoes, and as you always say in your
Wowza.
best Italian accent, piselli,
Broccoli.
broccoli,
Broccoli.
some lovely
Kev,
hot
Green, white, and
gravy.
gold.
I know you're not always, but
Definitely.
I've been cooking these sausages properly Irish way since 11 o'clock this morning.
That's it. Burn
It's
it.
8 o'clock at night tonight, so they've just come out.
They'll be just about
they should
ready.
be
Just the way you like
them.
about
Ready.
ready.
Just the way you like them, Kev. Buon appetito.
Lovely,
appetito.
lovely. Lovely, thank you. Look
got
at
your salt and
this.
pepper in that
It's
here, Kev.
spoiling me. Look at that.
Enjoyed them
That
spuds.
was lovely.
The spuds. I know you said you weren't that hungry tonight,
That's
but,
right.
but you love one
Oh.
thing that's not left is the
Oh,
spuds.
ridiculous.
Yeah, wicked. I'm glad. I
Ridiculous.
know because me and
Thank
Anna
you,
was
Kevin.
half thinking
I know.
about.
Don't tell him we're half
let
his
me take-
potatoes
let me
out
take this up
there.
here.
More, they were absolutely
Kev.
lovely. But I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna leave them.
So Kev,
Yeah.
you got into the band. How was it hard for you getting into? But did your dad want you to go and get a proper job? Or like,
Totally.
So that, like, when you said, "Dad, I'm in a
You want me
band,"
to work for him?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
proper
the-
job,
his own
stable
firm,
job.
you know.
Whereas he probably thought being a musician. What's that all about?
He couldn't see it at all.
Yeah.
He couldn't see it at all. But I was very lucky. My brother, I struggled to learn the guitar. I was just a very slow learner at school and everything. But my brother Pete, my older brother, was in a working men's club band
Right.
called New Blood. And, you know, the guitarist was leaving. And I could play a tiny bit of guitar, but not a lot. And he said to me, if the guitarist is leaving, Steve, and because he was his mate, he gave him 6 months' notice. So he said, if you can learn all the songs in 6 months, you're in. So that was all the incentive I needed.
And you went and learned the guitar in 6 months.
Well, I knew chords anyway, but I had struggled with concentration. They'd probably now say ADHD or
Yeah, I
something.
think we've all got that.
Exactly.
We
And
definitely
was
have.
this
We had
band? Was this band, Kev? Was this what became Dexys?
No,
Midnight. No.
this was like a working men's club.
Right, so
band.
this was your brother's
Hello,
band?
Mary Lou, and all that.
All right, great.
All of that, and Beatles and rock
Yeah,
and
yeah,
roll, country
right.
and western.
Kind of more
So
covers.
you had to do
as
stuff
opposed to
that
your own
people,
stuff.
you had to do
Yeah.
stuff that people knew because they were in there
That's
having
exactly
a drink.
right.
Right,
Having a
got
drink.
ya.
Working men's club. So like
Yeah,
Bethnal
yeah.
Green Social
Yeah,
Club.
yeah.
If you'd have started playing like
The hipsters.
if you'd have started
No
playing your own
hipsters.
stuff and they didn't like it, there'd been bottles flying
it was
up
very
at you.
good because once after a while I started to write the odd song. I went, Pete,
Right.
can I put a song in this? He went, oh, go on,
Okay.
then, put that one in. And I put a song in.
You always had that in you, Kev.
I suppose I did, but I never really... I was lucky. That gave me the tools to probably do it. Because my mate was telling me at school, I met him not long ago, and he said, sitting next to him at school, I was always just tapping away. And,
Right.
you know,
I've
so-
noticed you were there every
Yeah.
time we had little pause. You were like,
Yeah, must be. Maybe he's nervous. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I think I did. I always had it in me, and I felt deep down I could do it. Even though I was a little kid, I thought that's what I want to do. But
you just knew.
reality takes you. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just thought after a while, teenage years,
Everyone would love
leave
to.
school, forget
Yeah.
that, mate. It's never going to
Yeah.
happen. But once I got into this band, I thought maybe, just
Yeah.
maybe. So after about a year, 2 years of doing that, I just formed my own band. First, a punk band, weren't very good, and then
What was that called, Kev?
the Killjoys.
Right.
Yeah. And then And then Dexys, 78, we formed Dexys.
I
me and
read
Kevin
somewhere,
Archer.
Kev, I don't know if it's right, but I read somewhere you were like that serious and passionate about it that you told the other members that to quit their jobs.
That's it.
And you've got to come, we're doing like a 9 to 5
That's
almost
right.
kind of
But
thing.
you're
and-
still like that now. You're
disciplined.
still very you are
Disciplined.
hardcore. I remember when you was coming in with your band a little
Yeah.
while ago on the
Yeah.
new album.
Yeah.
Well, not the latest album, the
Yeah.
one with. And they were telling, no, Kevs, you've got to be
Very disciplined
which
with
is
it.
well, and that's why you've got where you are.
I suppose so.
You've got
As
to
I
be a
said,
bit
the
like
old
that.
man was that way, and I suppose that really helped. Yeah, I think I read somewhere. It was someone said like in a Melody Maker or something like that. It was like they said if your drummer doesn't want to practice 8 hours a day, he's the wrong drummer for you because and that's what I said to the band. Look, you spend 8 hours a day doing something you hate, a job. You'd be doing something you love now. So we just treated it like a job, Monday to Friday. And then in the evening, me and Kevin Archer went home and wrote songs,
Yeah.
But in those days, you could live on the dole.
Yeah.
We all signed on the dole. So we said, you've got to sign on the dole.
Yeah.
And we'd come, this is our practice room, this is my
Yeah.
brother's garage.
Yeah.
And we just come in at 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
every with a kettle, make a
Yeah.
cup of tea,
Yeah.
go to a cafe for lunch,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
it.
yeah.
On those days, the dole was enough that
Yeah,
you
you
could
could
live on
afford to do it, yeah.
And you only had to sign on every 2 weeks or something. And they never hassled you about trying to find a job.
Yeah.
They just didn't. So
Yeah.
it was just like, we saw it as like our student grant.
Yeah.
That's what it
You
was.
could afford to be a musician.
So 2
couldn't you?
years we rehearsed,
Yeah.
Kev, you've done your band. You've started
Yeah.
off. You've made them work hard. You had your big hit. Gino, when was the first moment that you realised that you'd cracked it? Was that it? When you had your first big number one? Or was it even
It's when he
before
chucked
that?
7 women out of his bed at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, one of them, there's 2 of them really. I think when we first started getting played on the radio.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? We're driving along in the van on the way to a
What
gig.
was
that
the
must-
song, Kev?
It was the first one, it was Dance Stance.
Right.
This is the one before Gino.
Yeah.
Got at about number 40. But we got on Top of the Pops as well, and I was
Yeah.
starting to think, oh, OK, something's happening here.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did your dad say when he see you on Top of the Pops?
I can't remember. Well, I wasn't there usually, but one time I was there, because they used to do it the night before.
Yeah.
And my folks were living in Harrow.
Yeah.
So I'd just go around there the next day. I can't remember, actually.
Now, Kev, Come On Eileen come out.
Yeah.
And you, not only was it ginormous, but it kept Michael Jackson. It just had a massive hit. And then he brought another record out and they thought that was going to be number one, but no, weren't number one, because you was number one. You kept him off the top of the charts. And not many people can say that.
For a week we did,
Oh,
in the US,
hey,
yeah.
In the US.
Yeah.
And he's massive out there. He was like, he is Mr. America, wasn't he, at
Yeah.
the time? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He could do
Yeah.
no wrong.
Yeah.
And for you to come out with this song and you blew him out of the water, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That must have felt fantastic.
It don't happen, Kev.
Well, do you know what? To be completely honest, at the time, I mean, touring everywhere, and it was really hard work. Which is because, like, when you get busy like that, when you have a hit like that, they work you so hard. The record company, well, we've got to go here.
Get their
We
money's
want you
worth out,
promoting
yeah.
here. You've
Yeah.
got to do interviews all day long. Then you go
Yeah,
on stage.
yeah.
It was like that.
So you almost didn't
Not
notice.
complaining. I'm not complaining, but as part of me was just like, I wasn't even there. I was in
Yeah.
Germany or somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all happened so fast, and you're so busy. Oh, you got to form a band. You got to do this. You got to get on the road. I kind of didn't enjoy it as much as I wish I
Okay.
had. Really.
Yeah.
I enjoy it more now,
Yeah.
and now I look back and I'm grateful. But at the time, I don't know.
I suppose when you look back now, it's like even me, you look back and think, oh, could have really done something different there. I wish I'd have took my time there. I done
Yeah.
Enjoyed it more.
Totally.
It's all part of learning. And,
It is.
And growing.
It
like
is.
Kev,
Well, they say youth is
you
wasted on the young.
enjoyed yourself. You enjoyed yourself.
I
when you
did.
was young. Now, a lot of everything. A lot of young ladies. A lot of drink. A lot of drugs. A lot of everything.
Some of everything.
Some of everything.
Some of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Quite
That's
a
your
lot.
good.
A little bit of
A little bit of everything.
Quite
That's
a
your
lot
good.
of everything. Quite a lot
And
of
you've come
everything,
through
actually.
a lot of bad times as well. There was
Yeah.
great times and then there was some bad times.
Yeah, I got addicted to cocaine. Yeah,
And you've come out of it.
Yeah.
You've been out of it for a long time
a
as well.
long time. I had a lot of help.
Had a lot of help.
Program of recovery. I couldn't have stopped on my own. I
Like-
tried to stop on willpower. I couldn't do it. I mean, to be honest, I lost my home.
Yeah. It was that bad.
I was
Kev?
made bankrupt by the government because I wasn't interested in paying my bills.
Just wanted
No.
to get on it.
Tax or VAT. That was cocaine money. So
Wow.
it's just
And how much,
it
Kevin?
owned me.
How much money do you reckon you spent on it?
I've
Like,
no idea.
seriously?
Even more,
no idea.
and you like that even more than the young ladies, Kev.
Well,
At the
no,
time.
now you're
Nothing-
pushing it with Kevin.
Nothing more.
In
than
the
know what I
end, in the end,
that takes over everything.
it took over everything. I didn't
Yeah.
even want anybody around because I didn't want to share the gear with them. For
Really?
once. I didn't. It was all about that. It owned me.
Would you have been horrible
Done
to
anything
be
for
around
it.
then?
Oh
Kev?
yeah, definitely. I was. Yeah.
When was the day you said, right, enough's enough? Was
Well, I
there
did a few
day?
of them. I did a few
Okay.
of them, and I still couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Like my daughter. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Do we know?
Yeah, we know
of
you.
You know,
course.
Asia.
Yeah, of course.
She, you know what I mean? She, you know, she wanted to go to drama school. And they're thinking, one day I thought, what the fuck? I'm spending all my money on this shit. She needs money to go. What am I doing? You know,
It's
this has
not you,
got to
it's-
fucking stop. And I swore that was it, and I'm never going to touch it again. I probably lasted about a week.
Really?
I couldn't stop. It was more powerful than me.
Yeah.
It was more powerful than me. So I needed help. And eventually I met a guy who was exactly like me. If I saw him out in a club at 5 a.m. or something, his jaw would go
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
You
He'd
knew it
covered
was the
covered
same
in
as
sweat.
it.
Exactly
Yeah.
like me. And he'd stopped. He'd stopped and he looked healthy. And he looked well. And I just thought, well, I didn't thought. And he went, can I talk to you? I said, yeah. And he said, there's a way to stop, you know. I said, really? And he, anyway, I didn't take him seriously, but then I did. And
We know, yeah, you've been.
I was
you've
just,
done-
And the rest
but
is
the real
history.
day was one day. I was trying not to do it, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, or maybe ex, can't remember. She'd through so much shit with me, but anyway. And she went, should we, blah blah, and I just thought, it wasn't the worst day. I just thought, I can't fucking do this anymore. I just can't live like this anymore. Tomorrow I'm going back to them meetings, which I'd already been going to, but kept relapsing. And I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to do what
You're
they told me to
exhausted
do.
by it.
At your peak, there's some brilliant parties you must have been going to. Can you tell us a bit about some of the scene?
Yeah,
then?
I mean, to be completely honest, we didn't, in the early days of the Dexys, the first few years, we've been around Eileen and that, we were working so hard that we didn't do that many. I didn't do that many, and I was a bit edgy with, I don't know why, for a couple of reasons, I didn't really go out that much. That started a bit later, like 85, 86, you know,
Right.
as the Dexys was fading down a bit. Then I started going out a hell of a lot. But before that, there's one funny thing. I think there was a second time that we got on Top of the Pops, probably the first one with Gino. And we were staying, you know, we hadn't had a hit record at that point. Probably it was number 30 or something. So we were staying in a cheap hotel over in somewhere in West London or something. But we'd be going around to all the girls at Top of the Pops, saying we're having a party, there's Dexy's party, you know, there's a party back at the hotel. Do you want to come? This is the address, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't know if they're going to come or not.
Yeah.
And then, Thin Lizzy were on it, Phil Lynott, Irish guy.
Yeah.
And
Whiskey in the jar.
exactly, and
Yeah.
all of that, yeah, great. And so I'm just in the reception of the hotel looking around, see if any girls coming. There's none fucking come. We're all in the bar, really average bar, just having a drink, all bored, you know. Next thing we see Phil Lynott walking in.
Yeah.
And he didn't see me. I'm down the hall, and he's got a girl on either each arm. And he says to the steward or the receptionist, I'm here for the Dexys party.
Did he?
Yes, I'm here for the Dexys party. I felt so fucking embarrassed because there was no party. There was no party. So he come into the bar, you know, and how are you? I went, I'm all right, yeah, how you doing? He went, all right, yeah. I get a drink. And he got a couple of slammers. We'd never fucking seen them before. They were new, you know. And he went, see you in France. And drank it. Yeah, and I don't think he didn't stay long. He took the girls with him and left.
But then, so Kev, then you. What else? Where was that one you said?
There was that club Shum that I'm interested to hear about.
I'll actually, Anna keeps
Shum.
talking about it. Shum, yeah.
Probably the best club that I've ever been to.
And what was the crowd?
What was the vibe there,
It
Kev?
was
Yeah.
a real mixture. It was a real mixture, and it was like a gymnasium.
Yeah.
400 people allowed in. If you didn't get there early, you didn't get in. That was it.
Right.
You had to get in there because it was always rammed. There's loads of people outside. It was everybody.
Yeah.
There was pop singers.
Yeah.
There was photographers. Martin Fry from ABC, you
Yeah.
might remember. He'd be down there.
And
Oh,
Shum
interesting.
was like, if you had to be, if you know, you know.
Oh, everybody, yeah. Yeah, there wasn't no adverts for it or anything
No.
like that. It was just word of mouth, yeah.
And was it famous people like yourself down there?
No,
Did you-
that's the great thing about it. There was
Yeah,
some.
yeah.
And there'd be photographers, there'd be fashion designers.
Yeah.
And there'd be glazers.
Yeah.
And there'd be
But it's just
builders.
if you knew, you had
everyone.
to
And
know.
everybody was equal.
And everyone.
And,
just-
and the coolest guy might be the glazer.
But he come dressed, whatever.
He had it all right, and he was a
Yeah.
really cool guy, and that's how it was. And anything
Brilliant.
went in there.
Nice. Kevin, so we've been
Yeah.
talking about the clubbing and the
Yeah.
shoom and how
Yeah.
it kind of, changed over the years and when
Yeah.
it does, it has. And did you notice the big change as well? I mean, because the style of music, you said to us before, your band quit their jobs, you're in your brother's garage, practicing your instruments, you're all proper musicians as such, and then all this kind of acid house, it was all on machines, it was
Yeah.
all...
Synthesizers,
Yeah.
Well, not even
drum
that, even drum
machines.
machines, made it for you. So how did you feel about that? Did you...
Well, yeah. First of all, when I first heard it, I couldn't hear it. It just
Yeah.
sounded like a drum machine
Yeah.
and a bit of squiddly
yeah.
music and a
Yeah.
keyboard. But then when I heard it on an E,
Yeah.
when it went to shum,
And it
Yeah.
brings them
it's
rushes
just
out.
like, wow,
Yeah.
sounds amazing, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Takes you to a different
Certain
place.
songs like the build up,
Yeah.
and when you're coming up, the songs were made for that, I suppose, at the time.
Yeah.
I think they were.
I think they were. They knew what they were doing,
They
sort of
were.
thing.
It all came out.
You'd have to do, and then the bass would come in away. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
wicked.
There was some great tracks out there, like "Let the Music Use You." That was a big one.
Because even them, a lot of them tunes, they still play them now.
They do, and they
still
kept
play 'em now.
remixing them and they've been
remixing
coming out.
them.
My
Yeah.
son, who's 19, he's discovered he likes going to these raves or whatever, and he's like, Dad, check this tune out, and then
Like,
Paul's
we were
like,
listening to
we
that,
were
yeah,
listening
I've
to
got
that
that
like
on the white
32
label
years ago,
downstairs.
yeah.
Wow,
because
same
which is
tune.
same tune remixed slightly
Yeah.
or whatever.
Did you ever think of doing that, Kev? Like getting into that sort of style?
We did. And me and Jim, Big Jim.
Yeah, of course.
We were writing
Plays
some
the
stuff.
trumpet or something, did he?
Trombone, yeah.
Trombone, that's it.
Yeah, we were writing some stuff around 88, 89, and it was definitely like that.
Oh, really?
Oh, definitely influenced
Did you
by
ever
it.
release it, Kev?
No, because I then got really involved with the bugle,
Right,
and that took over.
right,
It took over everything.
right.
And I had times like there was record labels interested in us, but
Yeah,
you
you weren't interested in them.
Yeah,
No, I was, but I'd be coming off a coke binge or something.
Right.
yeah.
And
couldn't do it.
I'd start telling the guy he didn't know nothing about music or whatever. That kind of thing, do you know what I mean? And that'd be the end of that one.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the deal
Right.
one record company I phoned up, the deal wasn't coming quick enough. They said, we definitely want to sign you. Me and Jim had made some good demos.
Yeah, yeah.
They said, we definitely want to sign you. We love this stuff. And I was like, great, okay. And then nothing had happened for a week or 2 weeks. I phoned them up and said, look, can we fucking sort this, Because it's just, I don't know if you know, when you come off a coke binge,
Yeah.
you feel fucking
Well,
awful.
I wouldn't really been that.
No.
I've had it, but I've
No.
never proper
No.
binged it.
So, you're just angry and, can you I probably wanted money for more fucking coke.
Yeah.
I was getting short money by this time. And, that was the end of that one. And these were both big labels.
Right.
You'd know them,
Yeah.
And the moral of the story is like Zammo and Grange Hill, just say no. Isn't it?
Well, try a little bit.
Try a
No,
little
don't
bit,
try a
but
little
just
bit.
say
Don't
no.
try- don't try.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's the drug that's the problem. It's the person.
Yeah, I've got that in them.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
people can have a drink.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of people are alcoholics.
A lot of people are fond of the drink.
Fun to the drink.
A bit too
Yeah,
fond of the
bit too
drink.
fond of the drink.
In other words, they're a raging alcoholic.
I love that.
So, Kev,
Yes, no.
our little, I'm still going to mention Prawn Ball George when we
Prawn
do
Ball
the thing.
George.
Prawn Ball, our little producer, has done some homework on you, and he's bringing out a few. You're always very stylish, Kev.
Well, I try,
very.
mate, I try.
And
I try.
some of the fashions you've been through. So this was peak Dexys, yeah?
Yeah,
Dexys been up to
That's
82.
iconic. When I
82,
thought
83.
that's how I remember it.
That's
That
a
was
good
the
look.
poster I had.
It does look good. That's a good picture.
Fantastic.
I
picture.
remember Anna with that haircut.
Sorry?
I remember Anna with that haircut.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
everyone
doing
had
it.
that haircut.
Wow. Oh, wow. And do you know what we did? Because everyone else was dressing up at that point.
Yeah.
So we decided to go the opposite way.
Yeah.
To stand out, look different.
Yeah, because it was all that kind of, what was the word for it? What's the word?
New romance.
New romance,
So
all that
Jill
kind of,
stand
yeah.
up and they was all like,
Stand-up
yeah, the
ballet,
big
yeah,
shoulder
yeah.
pads.
Yeah, yeah.
ABCs, all of them.
Yeah, and I like that stuff as well. But we decided to do this. We wanted to be different.
Well, and you remember it. That's like iconic. That kind of look. You always remember when
Yeah.
you think of like Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yeah.
Runs like everyone sees
I don't
that
think my
picture.
dad would have been impressed with that look, Kev.
No.
Because
He
he
would
was
have
a
been
shirt,
more
and your
impressed
dad
with this
either,
look.
because they were shirt and tie men.
Oh, they were.
And even though that was a style.
I don't think my
that
parents got it
weren't
at all.
their style, yeah.
No.
'cause
Your dad always
Whereas
looked
that,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the young people,
Yeah.
they were like, wow.
They were.
What's this?
Yeah.
But for like your dad and my dad was born in the 20s, and
Yeah.
similar sort of eras, they would have been like, well, who's that fella on the telly?
definitely.
Like, do you know
This
what I mean?
is more our dad
So
would
this is
have dressed.
how our dads would have dressed.
So that's what we did. That was the
Something like
next
this.
album.
This is how our dads
Don't
would have
Stand Me
dressed.
Down, yeah.
So very smart.
It was New York Ivy League. It
Right,
was
is that what
kind
you
of...
went for? Like
yeah.
they would have been on the stock exchange,
All of
like that sort of thing.
Wall
I've got you
Street, yeah.
loads of money.
That's what they were wearing. Brooks Brothers was the shop.
Got your buy.
Yeah,
Got
yeah, it was all that, but it's quite traditional. Yeah,
Yeah.
That it hadn't changed much since the 50s or 60s, or they were still in the 80s over there in New York. That's what happened. We went to New York to play over there, and I'd worn quite similar clothes, like those shoes, wingtips, when I was
Yeah.
about 15.
Great.
Because there was basically the original skinhead thing, which I was doing in North West London at that age, 15, 16, as I was leaving school, was basically an American look.
Right.
It was like straight trousers, it was them shoes. The skinhead, the actual thing, the really short hair came from the guys at the moon landing.
Right.
You see them guys, they had such short hair.
yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And they'd wear the button-down shirts. Just, it was an American
Was
look.
that the
Okay.
what they called them things?
Harrington jacket?
No, them stretchy
Braces?
braces.
Yeah,
Was that?
yeah.
That's
That
a
was
good
all
thing.
American.
That's what they called
Stretches.
It was all American. So when I went over there with the Dexys, when Eileen blew up and everything, the album, I was walking down Madison Avenue one day, just went for a walk, and I looked in the shop, and they had clothes that the kind of coolest kids, skinheady kids, the coolest ones, not the rank and file, but the coolest ones were wearing. I thought, shit. Because that look is a classic look that just keeps on going, the Ivy League
okay.
American
Right.
thing. College look, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought, shit, that looks great. Them shoes look great. And I've been wearing all this scruffy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought, it'd be lovely to put some clean clothes on. So first thing I did, bought the shoes. And I loved the shoes. And I went back a couple of days later, bought a jumper or something. And then it was just started. And we just kept going over there and buying. We had money.
Yeah.
We were just buying loads of clothes.
Looks
But they
fantastic.
loved it.
Yeah.
And that,
They
and that
loved
was
us.
you got your style in your head, and you've always been like that, I think, Kevin. You got
Oh,
style. You
I get excited about it.
get excited about. I know
I
you
can't
do.
But
when
sleep.
see-
you make it look effortless
Yeah.
when we see
Well,
it.
I get people in here,
It looks
don't
like
you?
you've just kind of stepped into it.
the amount of
It
people that
doesn't-
say, "Oh, I love. What's he wearing?" Like, and I think you've had people say to you before, "Oh, I love your."
Yeah.
Like, you must get it all the time.
Well, sometimes, but I do love it, and it does got easier over the years. You know what I mean? Sometimes I was thinking so hard, but these days it's a lot easier.
You just do it
You
naturally.
Yeah.
had one particular look, Kevin,
Go on.
that inspired young Nev.
And
And he
Emma.
drove
And-
me mad to go and buy him a pair of knickers.
Right.
I'm not. It's this look.
Kev, I'll tell you
I've
what.
got a picture of
Did he get the right size?
Well, no, I couldn't. It was murder. They were all too small for him.
I'm
But
like King Prawn George.
You're a
in
loyal,
his
you're a
knickers.
loyal sister.
I'm a lot, but he drove me mad. I had to
Let's
go
say-
to buy him a
I'm like
pair of
King
knickers
Prawn
in
George, Kev.
Marx's.
That is like you are like vegetable spring roll extra large, Kevin. There, not like King Prawn George. You know what I mean?
Prawn Ball George.
Prawn Ball George. That's it. Prawn Ball George. That's
Well,
it.
maybe the photographer
Done well,
enhanced
paid
it
her
a little
few
bit. I
quid.
don't know.
But
It's amazing what you can do with a few socks, you know.
that caused uproar when you did it.
It did.
Whereas now, like it's
nothing
I think
now.
Nothing.
No, it's
Like,
nothing.
and which
No
it should
one
be
cares now,
nothing.
do they? No
one
cares.
No.
Wear what you want. But,
Do you know
but
what
at
it
the
was?
time, it was uproar.
I was
Kev.
uproar. What happened was when I stopped taking cocaine, I got into recovery, and after about 2 years, I just started to think, you know what I mean? Because I used to try and act macho and all that, and I thought that wasn't really me.
Yeah.
It was just a defence, and I just thought there's a feminine side to me. And I just wanted to express it, you know. So I started drawing clothes, you know. And first thing I did, I think I painted my toenails or something and wore a pair of sandals or something and a like a kilt, like a leather kilt. And then I just developed it, and then I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to put this on the album cover.
You looked good. I mean, you don't want to see Nev in them knickers. It wasn't a good look,
No,
Kevin.
You can for a price,
Seriously.
Kev. Anything for a price, you
How
know.
much,
When it's that, yeah, free. I'm only joking, free for
Just
you.
put round there after 8 on a Friday. He still puts it on, didn't you?
Yeah, and then, and like we said, now it's just like
There's nothing.
But at the time,
Oh,
like, you
mate.
were like a pioneer of like that sort of.
And thank God it's nothing. No one
Yeah,
cares.
Exactly.
As long as
Yeah,
it's
I
someone's
must admit,
nice,
that
who
gave me a
cares?
lot of stick, and it did get to me.
I
some
didn't
of
know
it.
as much, but young King Prawn,
Yeah.
Prawn Ball.
You keep bigging him up with King Prawn.
He told us just how much stick you got for that. Like it was like a lot of grief.
It was a lot of grief. And I don't know why. It must have hit a nerve with them.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they were so vicious.
Whereas old Harry Styles does it now. It's like, oh, Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Like, which is great. And we had him in here, he's a lovely boy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But when he done it, it's like, oh, look at Harry, so cool. Whereas when you done it,
I
it's
reckon
like,
most of the power people were dressing like that every Saturday night anyway, and they were worried that you'd clocked
I bet
onto
old
it.
Boris Johnson's got that on
Boris
there
Johnson's
under
probably
his
got
old
that
thingy.
outfit
Of course he has.
in his
I bet
office.
old...
Being hungry.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that, wasn't they? Would they like
Old
a
Richie.
stocking on their head and a orange up their bum, didn't
That's
they?
it, yeah, that's what they
I
like.
love that, the
Bum on
rich
there, all
lot.
over.
They like that.
Kevin, then we get to this, which is like...
This is the Kevin we know today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Effortless
Just down
class.
the road.
yeah, like...
Effortless
but
class.
You love a hat. You love a nice, smart jacket always.
But just, do you know
I
one of
designed
the-
that myself, that.
One of the things I love most about how you're dressed,
All right.
not just the clothes, the colours you put together. Because I think I often mention to you, you'll put two colours together, and I go, oh, Kev, they really work, like a brown and a blue, or a... There, do you see what I mean? The blue,
Yeah.
the blue with a red. And normally you wouldn't put them together, but
Yeah.
you know how to put them together.
Oh.
No, you do.
You know
you do.
like that again.
Do you know
Sorry.
the trick with that?
Go on.
Yeah.
Just have them in your wardrobe and just keep your wardrobe open. You're walking past the wardrobe
Mm.
and you just, or sometimes jumble them up and you put something next to the other one. Think, oh,
And it
those two
works.
colours are
Sounds
good.
like that again.
Yeah, it
Papa.
works.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Dad was like, he was real stuff. And
He's the same, yeah?
And he'd pick you out. Like I said, your wardrobe, he'd have his wardrobe, Mum would have it and all his ties there.
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck's he wearing?
And
But
they'd
then
look nice.
look really nice. And
Yeah.
people go, oh, wow. And people
Yeah,
would buy
he
him
looked
ties.
great, mate.
'Cause he
Yeah,
always had,
people would bring him back ties
but that's
from all
another
over the
thing.
world.
If
Yeah.
I picked it out, I put like, what the fuck's he put on there? But where you've got to have it. And it's just, yes.
I've just been obsessed with it all my life. I was when I was
Right.
a kid, Mum, I don't want to wear that shirt. I want to wear this shirt and
Yeah.
them trousers, you know.
Yeah,
I
you just got it.
I just wear
I'm
what,
just obsessed
Yeah.
with it.
just wear what Nicola tells me to.
So good picture on £400
So if we could ask you, Kev, we ask everyone, if there's one dish that, for your home comfort, put on our menu, what would it be?
Roast potatoes. Because I've got to save me texting you to make them for me, which I do anyway.
Oh, because they're not on the
Perpetually
menu,
on the
all right,
menu.
fair
It's
not on the
enough.
menu, is it?
No,
it's
they're
not on the
special
menu,
for
all
you.
right.
No,
We
they
get
do
phone
special
calls.
for
we
me,
do
and I
special for you.
appreciate it.
All
But
right.
sometimes, fuck, it's
So
10
put that
o'clock
one
in the
on the
morning.
menu.
I didn't text Neb, I forgot.
No,
Oh,
6 o'clock in the morning, Kevin,
Yeah,
you
6
text
o'clock,
him.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
you remember
No,
at
what
10.
sometimes
Okay.
afterwards I forget.
Yeah.
Ah, shit,
All
too
right.
late.
No, right.
Constant
Perfect.
roasting.
Right, constant roasting.
No,
Lovely.
because it's not practical for you because, you know, not everybody
A
wants
lot
that.
of them
No,
don't
no,
want
no,
them.
yeah.
They
The
don't
others
want them, don't
them.
worry.
No,
There's nothing.
Kevin's
There's
a little
nothing.
text.
A little
There's
text, Kev.
nothing I'd change. One thing I want to say, can I say something now? Okay, so I just want to say that, you know, this Caff is more, I can't put it into words really, but it's more than special, and it's the people.
Thanks,
It's
Kev.
you guys
And we've
really
had some
that
fun
make
times
it.
in here,
Oh,
Kev.
we've had some
Had some
great
fun
times.
times.
Thank you, Kevin.
But honestly, you know, when I'm away, when I go away,
Yeah.
so I do, first thing I do,
I know, you text
back
me, I'm
here,
back.
mate. I'm back.
Nev.
Thanks,
Can I
You know what I
roast
mean?
potatoes?
Kevin, do you know what that means so much? Because you remember our dad where he was born upstairs and this
Yeah.
Caff was his life. And
Yeah.
I get a bit emotional, but sometimes you think you hope you're doing...
Make them
Goodbye,
proud,
do you know
yeah.
what I mean? So-
Make them
make them
proud.
proud.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, just doing goodbye,
how
do you know what I
lovely.
mean? So
I love it. I feel
I
emotional.
appreciate that. Thank you,
I
Kevin.
feel emotional.
I appreciate
But
that.
it's more than that. You know, it's like, it's almost like a healing place. If that doesn't sound ridiculous, it sounds like it's a healing place. You guys, the food's fucking the best. But as well as that, as well as you make the food with love, you give out so much love. You
Give out a lot of stick
so
as well,
much
Kev.
love.
Yeah.
Do
We give
you?
out a lot of stick, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
But in
Oh,
a-
gift
no,
stick. I thought you said guest stick.
No, we give out a lot of stick, like in a good way.
In a
not
good
in a
way.
We
nasty
treat
way.
everyone.
I wouldn't bring
we
anyone-
treat
I wouldn't
everyone the
bring-
Not in a
same.
nasty way.
I wouldn't bring a woman in.
No, I was like,
few in here, don't worry about that.
I've learned.
Yeah.
in a
Bought a
good
few in
way.
here.
We treat everyone the same. When you
I
walk
get-
through the doors, prepare to be given a bit
You've
of grief.
got to be.
Yeah,
Thank
good.
you, Kevin.
And you do.
I
And
appreciate
you,
that.
and you
No,
take
it's
it well,
something
Kev.
else, man. It's something
Thanks, Kev.
else.
Kev.
Something else, mate.
Thank you, man.
No.
Thanks, Kev. Love it.
Yeah. It's something else. I
Thank you,
can't put it
Kevin.
into words what it means. It's just
Thanks,
great. I
Kevin.
mean, there's nothing like this anyway. It just doesn't exist. It's amazing.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that little clip, then make sure that whatever platform you're watching it on, subscribe, follow us.
And make sure that you follow @DanTheCaff on Instagram and all your socials. Spread the love.
Tag us. Spread the love.